the best media buyers I know don't think of things in good or bad. They think of things in the scientific method. Here's my thesis. Here's where I think it's going to end up. And then you measure, and here's where it ended up. Because if you get caught up into that good and bad stuff, to Charlie's point, you start to just chase luck versus being able to have a systemic viewpoint of like, this isn't good or bad. Like the ads aren't mad at me or the ads don't like me. This is totally amoral. Yeah. It's just, is this the system I'm running? And is this system producing the results I want? Okay, this experiment did not. That's great. There's some learnings that I can integrate where, hey, I don't need to put males in my ads. They are absolutely not working. So now I have an even more tighter brief to then give to my creative of like, never use imagery of males. It's not working for us. It doesn't. And so that's what I would say is like, the more you can get into that systemization and the more you can shift your framing from successful or unsuccessful versus thesis verified or thesis nullified, I think that's just, and candidly, it's a better place to be in your head because you start to get, the ego starts chirping at you, yada, yada, yada. But that's kind of my little soapbox speech.
Keep the emotion out of it.
Yeah, yeah, but that's my take. Where are you at,
Here's
Charlie?
what I've done, especially when we've had like the in-house, because it's the out-house, like, oh, you're unhappy with that? Cool. I'll just take my business elsewhere. Like, whatever. You're getting paid. So, whatever. That's on you. Right? Like, if it's a vendor, I'm paying them like $5K a month, that's your motivation. And if you do poorly, I'm going to hire somebody else. You want my business? Do good work. Bottom line. And if I believe in your work and we communicate, you're going to be on the team because I need like one hit every like 6 months for it to be great. The other thing I've done when they're in-house is really gone across the point, and this is something I try to tell media buyers all the time, is your losses tell you way more than the wins do. Everything lost. Yep. Okay, well, what worked, what didn't? Right, and you set it up in a dynamic creative where now you're really leveraging machine learning. What works, what doesn't? And a good creative, in my opinion, a good creative director will look at dynamic creative as a tool to help them be better and better at their job. You can really start to analyze your work and get better and better at it. And one of the things that I did when I've had in-house teams is, and I've noticed this works if they have the right head on the shoulders of the person that's there, but I taught the creative director how to pull reports in Facebook. And I literally was like, these are the ads that are spending, these are the ones that aren't. Like, this is what's working, this is what isn't. And then we would have conversations of like, how can I work with you to dethrone, as Robert put it? Like, how do we work together to make that happen?
Fun.
Because
it was really fun.
Now it's like, oh, none of my things are spinning, blah, blah, blah. It's like, well, let's work together so that doesn't happen. Like, it's in my best interest to help you dethrone the best one. So what do we need to do? Now we've got a symbiotic relationship where that person is hella motivated to make it happen. And to be fair, when that new ad comes in, that means we go from 25,000 to 30,000 a day or 60,000 to 85,000. Like, everybody feels that, you know, and to just kind of reiterate on that sunk money thing, just to give an example, just the worst sunk money situation.
Hold on, I got to pause there. For people that are listening, Charlie had this very philosophical lean in. So this is going to be something interesting if you're not watching. If you do want to watch, you can go over to youtube.com/triplewhale. You see that YouTube plug, kids? That's what you call pro. Okay, go ahead, Charlie.
So I'll give you an example of my biggest fail at making this call. It was a $100,000 call, and we lost another $175 on me chasing it. And I got written up badly by somebody who's like, I don't know what I have to. I paid a Kardashian $100,000 to shill the shake. I think we made 15K on it. And I chased that with another 100,000+. I think on 150, 175K. So we were out almost 300,000, more or less like 250 after the profit. I mean, hey, this is a business. I went in there, they were doing about 18. I left about 20 months later, they're doing 95. But still, $250,000 is a lot.
Yeah.
And like, that's where I learned that lesson of like, you can't, you just can't, you know, you just never know.
Yeah, force it.
And the worst thing ever, the thing that was just the knife in the chest, the best ad we had running at that time was a stupid picture that the receptionist took in the kitchen making a shake with an iPhone. And it was like an iPhone 6. And we just threw it up as an Instagram story, and it got like 500,000 like whatever. It hurts.
We used to like when I was at that agency, we had some pretty big spenders, and we had this like lead generation, essentially like an insurance, like wealth management kind of company or whatever, did absolute numbers. We were spending $1 million a month, like real money. The weird thing was though, they would they had to link it to their kind of lead flow, and we would have to cut off ads all the time because like either budget. Anyways, Too Long Didn't Read. We had like every single big gun, super fancy creative agency, and this stupid fucking picture. It was literally that cheesy picture of the company people in front of like the branch office.
Oh yeah, I remember this one.
Never dethroned it, dude. And it was the bane of my existence because I was like, this is so terrible. And it was just the amount spent behind it and the social proof. Anytime you gave that any sort of like spend again, it would just crush everything else. And that was one of the most frustrating things ever, because everything in my being was like, this is the worst ad ever. Like the copy was terrible, headline was just absolutely slayed. So kind of to your point, Ash, of getting that was a very good learning for me to not become emotional, because I was like, it was almost like the basketball player that you hate or something that just would win. You don't get it, and they would just every time beat anything that you threw at it.
It's like Dennis Rodman back when he was in Texas.
Oh, dude, it was so frustrating. It was so frustrating. And so, I mean, for me, the Too Long Didn't Read, it was just like, never be attached or have dogmas, because the weird can win. And you as a media buyer or as a founder, you have two choices. Do you want to be right, or do you want to make money?
Yep.
That's it. Right. You want to be right? That's cool. Give me another $10,000 to test behind this beautiful high production ad. You want to make money? Amazing. I will do that as well. And so I think as an agency or somebody that is working with clients per se, you really just need to constantly reframe it as it's not your money. And so you need to say, hey, here's the way I can deploy your capital. Here's what I think the expected outcomes are. Which way do you want me to drive? And, if it gets to a place that it's really unpleasant for you anymore, then, hopefully you could be in a financial situation that you can maybe move on from that engagement. But at the end of the day, you're driving their boat, and you need to be cognizant of basically everything you're saying is going to be a recommendation. Ideally, it gets to a place of where it becomes a decision, but being able to lay that groundwork and help the founder or whoever your boss is at the time understand the implications of their actions. And sometimes they say, F it, drive the car over the cliff. It is what it is. But I think that's something that also helped me out a lot running agency life, was understanding personalities and just being like, hey, man, we'll run whatever strategy you want. But at the same time, that's why you're giving me the money, is to come up with this strategy. So anyways, a little ranty there, but man, this has been a great talk.
Products have different personas, right? So there's you're gonna have one. So let's take our collagen burn, for example, right? You have the weight loss audience and you have this beauty audience, right?
Yep.
Do you, Charlie, go at this product from two different sides, and does that become two entirely different funnels? That for one product, do you create two different funnels? Or are you trying to find which aspect to hit that has the best efficiency? And so you're kind of putting up, ads that kind of hit both or target different personas against the same test against your winners. Or if you're like, okay, I know there's two separate audiences for that, I'm going to treat them completely separate. I don't know if that made sense.
No, it totally makes sense. I would look at this in two ways. And the first thing I'm going to do is a PSM analysis on those audiences. I want to know, that beauty buyer, do they behave the same as the weight loss buyer? Or right? Do they behave the same? Do they have the same second purchase rate, LTV, CPA? Do the unit economics of that type of buyer match? And if so, then yes, it's one business objective, one campaign. If the unit economics of that attention are different, then I will separate them out with different business objectives. And ultimately, one of them is probably going to be better for me. And to be fair, like, under outfit, like, I know that a woman under the age of 35 that buys a bra, She's going to come in and buy one. Then she's probably going to come back and buy 3, get 1 free, and then trickle in on a new one every few months and drop a color. I don't want to know the age 55 is just going to buy 3, get 1 free every 4 to 6 months. She's more expensive, same product. The LTV on the older woman, much better. The cash flow analysis, though, is much different. Because they don't get the one sale and then the immediate bump and then the trickle. Where I just get like the hit. So now I need to understand what's my business objective. So if it's Q4, I'm going after all the long money I can. Like I'm going after that older woman that's going to spend more money because I know I'm getting them at a discount. Like a lot of people make the mistake in Q4 of offering discounts, which is like the dumbest thing ever. You're getting the people to buy from you for a cheaper cost. Buying intent is higher. So you're getting the sale for a lower price. You're accessing higher LTV at a larger margin. So in that case, I'm going to go after the long money in Q4. Q1, I'm going to go after the short money. So at the time Q2 comes back in and we see, oh, it's April. Oh, my costs are rising. What's wrong with Facebook? But this has happened 10 years in a row. Like by now you should expect it. And what happens for me? The long money from Q4 hits and the short money from Q1 hits. And so now Q2 and Q3 is all CRM. And I can work on my business model. What can I do better as a business? So that when Q3 and Q4 hits again, I can vault even higher. I've done it a few times and I'm now like 5 businesses in, just making 8, 9-figure businesses for an exit. And I'm about to do my 6th in like the last 5 years. Like there's a pattern. There's other ways of doing it. Some people might go retail. Again, congratulations on the big contract, right? But like if you have different unit economics for customer journeys, I want to identify those unit economics and then understand which one best meets my business needs as far as cash flow and inventory management are concerned.
Makes sense. So because there's a lot of talk around creative like ideology where it's like, all right, well, I'm going to have a hook for this or a hook for that, right? So like, say for example, again, using collagen as an example, the hair aspect of it versus like the skin aspect of it, right? Sure, there's overlap between those two customers, but if somebody really cares about their hair situation versus their skin situation, are you going to kind of put those against each other and see what kind of comes out at the end? Or because they're kind of two separate audiences, are you going to separate that out?
Is a hair customer worth the same as a skin? And the honest truth is, maybe a hair customer has a lower CPA and the LTV is terrible. Well, I'm going to make the decision. I'm basically never going to buy that person.
Right.
Because
Makes
ultimately,
sense.
too, like, what am I spending? $50K a day? $100K a day? Do I need to focus on a different type of buyer? Probably not. So, am I going to cost, if I can make a nickel or I can make a quarter, I can make a profit on the nickel, but it costs me 20 cents to do it. Maybe the hair buyer, I lose 20 cents of opportunity cost every time I buy that customer. And it hurts my inventory because now I got to stock 2 different types of things. My supply center, my pack and ship, my bundle offers, I got to now test 2 completely different email flows, 2 completely different like landing page tests. I got to do with different types of customer service. Like the post-purchase costs aren't double. They're like triple or quadruple because of the complexity. At the end of the day, I'm making my business way more difficult so that it can make less money. And I have to work harder to do it, which objectively makes no sense. So like,
well, what if you just started, right? What if you don't have that LTV data? Like, what do you want brands to do?
I mean, you do have LTV. If your LTV is one purchase, that's your LTV. And that data will evolve as you get more sales.
Right.
But if you've been at 30 days, your LTV purchase is one site. What can you do to get a second purchase? Then shift your business order to get you the best second purchase rate. So you're reducing your cost per acquisition, including the blended, and then your business model evolves.
Right. You're still testing. You're still going to test everything until you can figure out what happens month 3, month 6.
Sure. Yeah. And then if my business needs change, I will change that up. Like I said, Q1 is short money. Q4 is long money. Q2, Q3, I'm letting the CRM come in. I'm going to improve the business model. And if I can continue that flywheel, for the last 5, 6 years, I've been doing that. And the net result is exponential growth. I mean, Under Alpha went from $50K a month to $1 million a week. 310 Nutrition went from 18 million to 95. And we're talking like less than 2 years to make that happen. That has happened over and over again. So like, as far as I'm concerned, it's not the only way, but that way is the way that makes Facebook an hour a week and means that everybody can kind of work part-time on the front end of the business because it means they're spending the most of their time on what actually makes money. And to be fair, if you need Facebook to work to be in business, you don't have a good business.
Love it.
Hate.
It's a good place to end it.
What a good look is this dropping mics. I love this kid. Unbelievable.
I did not.
Charlie, tell me not only about your amazing hair and nails, but how do I get a Chuck T MBA? Where do I go to from there? How do I follow you? This time is yours, my friend. Plug away.
I got Disruptor School, obviously, which is a great community and people can learn in there. And my flagship thing is the Facebook Ads MBA program. It's not just like a course or a community or some pre-recorded thing by somebody that doesn't do the work telling you what works for their team off the things they saw on Twitter 2 years ago. This is like, what does it take? If you were to hire me on your team, how do I make myself not necessary in 9 to 12 weeks? I've standardized that into a thing that has lifetime access with, support in perpetuity with weekly classes and a community. That's it. mba.facebookdisruptor.com. You can check that thing out. And disruptorschool.com. You go to enroll in Disruptor School and just bypass all the nonsense. But at the end of the day, I got an inch deep, mile wide. That's Disruptor School. If you want to be like, man, I wish I could just hire Charlie and there'll be everything I need for the next 3 months, that is MBA program. Facebook Ads MBA program, Google it. It should come up. If it doesn't show up, then clearly I'm not good at my job at digital marketing. And like, that was probably the single highest payback investment. What I will make is I will tell you this. You're going to get the standard operating procedures and the support to take you to what you need to be successful. What you're not going to learn is how to be great at everything. Because I'm not like some mid-20, late 20-year-old kid that's going to promise you how to be good at every single platform and copywriting and everything else and charge you $12K to do it and all this other nonsense when I haven't even had to deal with the problem inside of a thing called a bull bear market. Like, I've done this over and over again. I've been doing it for like a decade. Over $1 billion in revenue driven. How do I make myself so you don't even need me? That's the Facebook Ads MBA program.
Boom. There we go, folks. Go get you some knowledge. Now, after you get your Facebook MBA, you might jump in the car. You might turn on a little LCD sound system, hit the window, drive by some stores, and then all of a sudden you just see the shining, glowing sign, and it catches your eye. It says Vitamin Shop. And then all of a sudden I think to myself, what do I do? And when I have these types of questions, I text Ash. If I text you, Ash, that I'm sitting outside a Vitamin Shop, what would you tell me to do?
Why the hell are you sitting outside? Get your ass inside and pick up Avi Super Collagen Protein.
Let's go.
And post it on Twitter. Send me a picture. But yeah, catch me on Twitter at @AshBelwani. Mentor Pass. Season 2. Chew on This is in session. Has some really cool guests.
Got him.
We got Nick Sharma coming on tomorrow night and Alex Beller from Postscript. So we got some heavy hitters. So you don't want to miss that. Coming soon.
Are you on the Mentor Pass yet, Charlie? Probably not. Obviously,
I am.
Pointless you are. Oh, great.
Yeah.
If you don't have the economics for the Facebook MBA, or you just want to pick this beautiful man's brain, go get you on the Mentor Pass.
Yeah.
Kenny's an amazing human.
Yeah, I also just have my own consulting.facebookdisruptor.com, which is the same unit economics, but I get all the money.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, we love Kenny. Keep your MBA program and do some Mentor Pass if you want.
Yeah, no, seriously, I love it. I would love to get more reviews.
Kenny's great.
I think it's a great way for people to have validated experts there, and to be at the end of the day, I'm a stranger on the internet that most of you will probably never see. Take the words of other people who you trust that say that I'm also maybe worth my, what I'm charged, and go through that route. I love what Kenny's doing in the validation of these experts, because I don't know that anybody's on there that hasn't earned their way in one way or another. And that is a beautiful thing.
Damn, did you just pitch Mentor Pass? Yeah, let's go, Kenny. Let's go. We need to get Kenny back on. He's doing some really cool stuff over there. All right, folks, let's wrap it up. We are triplewhale.com. You want to get involved and use the Whale app, ride the lightning, go to triplewhale.com. We have a fantastic newsletter that goes out. Oh, yeah, the Disruptor School's gear. We have a newsletter goes out every Tuesday, Thursday called Whale Mail. You can sign up right at triplewhale.com/whale mail. For people that are listening, Charlie is distractingly modeling his cool new Disruptor School merch. What else we got? We got another sister show. You're Not Your ROAS. I sit down with some of the best and brightest, and we go through their journey as either operators, founders, etc. You can catch all of that on your favorite podcast network, You're Not Your ROAS, Adspend. If you can, throw a review on this and or sub to the YouTube channel. Like I said, it's youtube.com/triplewhale. We post all of our podcasts there if you prefer to see our beautiful faces and Charlie's wonderful hair. The last thing, merch giveaway. What's the safe word, Charlie, for this episode?
Oh, the safe word for this episode? Let's say it's pine.
Didn't we get that already? There's too many swingers that come on this show. We've already used pineapple.
Look. Let's. We don't have to use pineapple. Call it the brown acid. Let's go with that.
Give me one more swing. I can't be promoting the hurrah here. Come on. Give me one more. Give me one more swing here, kid. You are 0 for 2. Do not strike out when we pick a word for you.
Oh,
Give me one more.
My dog's over here, so let's go after this guy right there. That's Barkley.
Oh, I love Barkley.
There we go.
Amazing. Okay, so message me at Robert Rahill on the Twitters or at Robert Rahill on LinkedIn. I can't believe you, Charlie. You did not disappoint. At Robert Rahill on Twitters, at Robert Rahill on the LinkedIn, Barkley. And we'll get you hooked up with some awesome Triple L merch. And Charlie, dude, thank you so much, man. It's been really cool to be a part of your journey. And for people that don't know, Charlie and I go way back. We actually had our first podcast together. It started out. So definitely go check out his stuff. Obviously, Ashvin Melwani, the man with the plan. Go follow all his stuff. You've been doing some work on Twitter. I don't know if I've been not missing your stuff in the past, but it feels like you're pushing the
baby.
Yeah, you're putting out some really awesome content. So go follow both of these wonderful humans. And that's it. That's all we got for you. Another ad spend in the books. Thank you so much for being a listener, and we'll see you guys next week. Bye-bye.